Hi, UMS friends. I've got a joke for you today and a little picture. Here's a little duck and a little bunny. And the joke is, what did the duck say to the bunny? Do you give up? The duck said, "You quack me up." All right, so much for the joke of the day. Now I have a story, and this book is written by Laurie Krebs and Valerie Sis. Last week, I did a video and I was showing you a little beehive, a bee box actually, that you could make using hollow-stemmed plants like bamboo, for example, putting them in a tin can or a box and hanging them up, and the bees would make a home in there. So anyway, I've been thinking about bees and watching bees in my garden ever since then. And then I found this great book, so I thought I would share this with you. And here's the first picture. Here is my grandpa, who's known in our town as the Bee Man. Here is his jacket with zipped up hood that covers his face just the way that it should when he visits his hives as the Bee Man. Here are his gloves made of cotton and leather, protecting his hands in all kinds of weather when he tends to his hives as the Bee Man. Here is a beehive where all the bees sleep, tucked into a box called a shallow or deep, and then placed on a stand by the Bee Man. Here is the smoker that calms down the bees, and a hive tool that opens the beehive with ease for a much closer look by the Bee Man. Here's the queen bee who does her job well, and she lays tiny eggs in a six-sided cell. She's the heart of the hive, says the Bee Man. Here are the drone bees with big bulging eyes and a large appetite supporting their size. They mate with the queen, says the Bee Man. Here are the workers, 10,000 or more, who gather the nectar to come back and store in honeycomb cells for the Bee Man. Here are the house bees with swift-moving wings that dry up the nectar a worker bee brings, making honey for me and for the Bee Man. Here's the extractor. It's clickety-clack, removing the honey from frames on its rack and filling up jars for the Bee Man. Here's some of the honey returned to the hive. It's food for the bees to help them survive the long winter days coming soon, said the Bee Man. Here are the bees protected from harm inside the hive, huddled snug and warm. So they'll be here for next year, says the Bee Man. Here is the wagon filled up to the brim with bottles of honey collected by him and brought to the house by the bee man. Here are the muffins, all warm and delicious and dripping with honey on Grandma's best dishes. I'm glad that my grandpa's the bee man. And that's it for our story today. I'll do another video soon and we'll keep talking about bees because they are so fascinating and we really need them. If we want to have fruits and vegetables, they have to pollinate the fruits and vegetables. So it's important for us to do our part to protect them and find homes for them. Okay, so we'll chat again soon. Bye, friends.